those endless mysteries. This week on those endless mysteries, Bigfoot. This week, we're going to be going and taking a good hard look at Bigfoot. We will be going over videos and photos of this famous creature. As well, we will be looking into some reported sightings. The sightings that we will be going over mostly will come from news articles, other sites, and from the BFRO site, the Bigfoot Research Organization website. You can go to the BFRO website to see if any sightings that might have occurred in your area or others. So with that said, let's jump right into it. In this next video, it's getting ready to come up. It was posted online anonymously, supposedly. So I haven't been able to find where it was filmed or someone to make sure it's okay to put it up here on the internet or rebroadcast it. So I'm hoping this video is okay. I'm taking a chance on it. But if not, YouTube will let me know and I may have to go in and edit this part out. With that said, this video is said to have happened during a 4th of July celebration. But like I said once before, no one has really came forward to take credit for this video. I don't even know where it's shot, but it is a clear and focused video of what seems to be a Bigfoot and her child. Now, from what I've heard about this video, some skeptics have said they can see a zipper, saying that this is just someone in a monkey suit. Now, I've looked hard and I just don't see it. But I don't have the best equipment out there, that's for sure. The Bigfoot being or creature, whichever you want to call it, really seems to be worried for her child. Now the best part of this video to me is when she picks up her child. Then I can see the human side of this creature come out. She takes just a few seconds to calm the child. At least that's what I see. Now they say the Bigfoots have their own language. Could this be proof of this? Is she talking and calming the child down before she rushes off with it? I don't know. But it sure looks that way to me. And there is another spot in this video where she seems to hold the child out from her to tell the child something or to calm it down. Watching this video, it does seem to me that they have some kind of a language, and the mother Bigfoot was using it in this video. So what do you guys think on this one? Let me know down below. So next time, when you're out walking on those wooded trails, remember, you might not be alone. So always keep your eyes open and keep those cameras out. Now this next video seems to show someone walking through the woods with a flashlight as they came across a Bigfoot. Now I heard that this video was debunked, but you guys know how that is sometimes. So I'm going to go over this one as a real video for you guys. This Bigfoot is white or cream colored. You don't come across that often in the folklore or legends of the Bigfoot. But in nature, pretty much every known animal has a history of albinos. So why would Bigfoot be any different than all of nature's other wonders? So if Bigfoot really do exist, I can see albino Bigfoots out there. Now in the video you can see as soon as the light hits him, he's gone. So is this video of an albino Bigfoot or is it just a fake? Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think. This video reminds me of a BFRO sighting report that was back in September 2011 by a mother and daughter. They reported seeing a 8 to 9 foot tall white furred creature. while they were camping in the Pisgah National Forest. They stated that they were camping in the Davidson River campground on a tent site. The site was a little further up the river that they were using. It was about 1 a.m. in the morning on September 11th. We both had to use the restroom. We unzipped the tent and went outside. We heard some rustling from behind our tent. As we turned around to look, there was a Bigfoot just standing there, looking at us, and we were looking back at him. He was right beside a pine tree, and where he came on the tree, he had to be at least 8 to 9 feet tall. The moonlight came through the thick forest to cast just enough light on him. He or she was albino. The fur was completely white. I couldn't tell you what color the eyes were. My daughter and I both looked at this creature and didn't say a word. We simply got back into our tent and started to ask each other questions to see if we both saw what we think we saw. Our stories matched. Needless to say, we stayed awake all night and didn't dare use the restroom. We did hear more rustling and dogs barking in the distance for the rest of the night, and that was the end of their statement. There have been other sightings of albino Bigfoot. Now, some researchers think that it's not a albino, but a very old Bigfoot, which I can see that, but to just rule out it being an albino is wrong. Nature teaches us that albinos exist, so to rule it out isn't being the best researcher, you ask me. So there is more info on the BFRO site if you want to look this report up. We will be going over more reports, but first we have another video to take a look at. This video is said to have been filmed by 2 film students for a project. As the one boy comes out running from behind the trees, you can see something behind him crossing through the field. It looks to be big and covered in black fur. It's not a bear. A bear wouldn't move that quick on its back legs. And the arms looks to be longer than a man's. From how they swing back and forth. So what could it be? If it's not a fake, then they caught a Bigfoot on film. Now I took 2 stills from this video to line up side by side so we can take a better look at this. Now with these photos side by side, you can see just how thick this creature is. It's thicker than the boy is broad. The creature or Bigfoot is further away from the camera also. I would say that they are close to the same height if the Bigfoot was standing upright. So I wish I knew just how much further back this creature is. It could be 5 feet or 20 feet back. 5 feet would make him, slightly taller. But 20 foot back would put him towering over the boy. Because we have these pictures from the same video, we know the light and distance is the same. It's easy to line up the pictures, so knowing that the Bigfoot creature is further back than the boy in the pictures is easy. But how far? This creature could be 6 foot to 9 foot tall easily. But then again, it could just be another fake video. So I have to say, I have a lot of questions on this one. The wilderness is vast, and new species are being discovered all the time, from primates, deer, and oxes just in the past few years. There are just too many sightings and evidence for the creature named Bigfoot, even though science won't acknowledge it until they got a specimen to study. It's said they have DNA of an unknown primate. The footprints seem to suggest that they exist as well. And I don't think you can just discard all the sightings and photos of these creatures. So what do you think? Drop me a comment down below and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can keep up with all our latest videos. Now let's get back to it. I have another sighting report to go over. Now this report came out of Washington State, near the town of Cougar, Washington. This is the follow-up investigation reported by BFRO investigator Scott Taylor. I called a witness. He was eager to tell the account of what transpired. It was summer and about 8:30 p.m., and he and his family members had just left the Mount St. Helens Observatory. It would still been light until about 9:30 p.m. at that time of the year. He said that the Toutle River was on the right side of the vehicle as they were driving westbound. Also, the creature was only 30 feet from the road and standing in the river about 5 feet from the bank. This puts it very close to them and a good position to be able to see details. This information helped me to find the most likely location using Google Earth. Details of the creature. He said it looked like it was 9 feet tall. It had a large head, about the size of a 5-gallon bucket. The head was pointy on top. He could see the musculature in his legs, back, and arms, even under hair. The hair was reddish brown with hints of gray. The hair appeared to be about 4 inches long and shiny. The stature was massive, very wide shoulders with a narrow waist, big barrel chest, and long arms. It was facing away, looking at something in the river. The creature was observed not only by him, but also his daughter, who was 8 years old at the time. It is my opinion that this witness and his daughter saw a Sasquatch. Now that's the end of the report. This next video is said to be filmed in Georgia. It's a dash cam from a highway patrolman. This video has been featured in many TV shows about Bigfoot, like Finding Bigfoot and others. I've been looking at this video for a while now. I just don't see that much. I can see the black figure dash across the road, but I can't really tell how big it is. So let's see if we can take a still out and play with the lighting some. That might give us a better look. Now this first still, you can make out the legs of something that seems to be running in a bipedal way across the road. So I think it's either a human or a Bigfoot. Not much else it could be. Looking at this photo here, it almost looks to be taking a huge stride as well. To me, it looks to be covering half of the road with one step, which it could be the angle of the camera. Still, can't tell how big it is though. Now I have enhanced each of these photos trying to bring out more of the creature. And to get a better size comparison, I don't think this one is going to give us much help either. Now this one we can see the shoulders and maybe where the head starts. Still no head though. Well, no head in this one either. Okay, guys, I think we got a headless Bigfoot here on their hands. I know Bigfoots are said to have a very short neck, but really, come on, where's the head? Well, maybe he's got his head looking down or something. Okay, this is strange, but I'm sure he's got a head, no matter if he's human or a Bigfoot. Just not able to bring it out here right now. Even without a head, it looks to be a very large creature. So drop me a comment on this one. This next report happened on August 11th, 2017, in Stone County in Arkansas near the Mountain View area. The witness report stated, August of 2017, me and my son were fishing in a secluded creek. The creek is very shallow in spots, so in order to access it, we have to wade fish. We fished around a low water bridge for maybe an hour and decided to head upstream to the next deep hole of water just over some shoals. I knew that around the bend of the creek where the deep hole was, there was lily pads. So I instructed my son to be very slow and quiet on our approach, so not to spook any bass that may be feeding around now. Once we made the bend, I observed what at first seemed to be a beaver about 50 to 75 yards away from us upstream where the water is deeper. It was headed towards some large rocks, but what seemed unusual about it was its shape. It was higher out of the water than any beaver or otter I've seen. The animal got close to the rocks and just stopped about a foot or two away from the cluster of rocks, just in the water. If I hadn't seen it moving to begin with, it would have blended in very well with the rocks. I noticed my son was watching it too and asked, "What is that?" And I replied that I wasn't for sure. So I made some racket with some cattle calls to maybe spook it onto the rocks so we could get a better view of this thing. But what happened next still sends me into a mild state of fear just recalling it. It started swimming back to the opposite bank and just stopped for about a second. Then it rose out of the water. Now I know what I was looking at was massive because the water in that part of the creek is chest deep, and I vividly recall seeing the daylight between its legs. It stood there probably 3 seconds at most, but the image was burnt into my brain forever. It had a reddish tint to its fur and massive arms that just hung to its side, almost touching the water. I couldn't see any facial features because the sun was behind it. After what I felt was a stare down, it lunged towards the bank that it originally came from, which was an erosion bank about 10 feet vertical wall, and it made it up using a tree about a foot diameter to pull itself with. Doing so, it pulled the tree, roots and all, down to the water. We heard it stomping off in the thickets till we couldn't hear it anymore. My son and I wasted no time getting back to the truck. Haven't been back to that spot since. Now what I'm guessing it was at the creek doing whatever it was doing and we caught it by surprise. And it mimicked a beaver trying not to be discovered. I always heard about these things and thought it would be something to see one. I wish now I hadn't seen it. It filled me with terror and excitement, but who can you tell? My son hardly talks about it, and I keep it all bottled up inside my head, like a rerun of some horror movie. That's the end of the statement. Now, that was a nice and clear statement. So, what did you think about this one? Drop a comment if you would like. And don't forget to subscribe down below and hit that notification button so you can keep up with all our new videos.